Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Spider, and Zootopia 2 is finally here! After almost 10 years. Man, Disney really took their sweet time with that one. Anywho, with the new film out, I thought what better time than to take a look at some figures based on the characters from the film, starting with the Revoltech Zootopia Judy Hopps. So, to get things started, let's take a look at the packaging. Alrighty, here we have the box. On the front here, we got a nice image of Judy Hopps. You got Zootopia, you got a plastic window, which me and my crazy hair are being reflected in. Flip it around, you got the back of the box with a bunch of different things that the figure can do. You got the side of the box, showing you stuff about the figure. Yeah, the other side of the box, showing you more stuff about the figure. Bottom of the box with a bunch of Japanese writings and whatnots. Yeah, that's pretty much it for that, so that didn't work. Let's try that again. There we go. That's it for that. On to the figure. And here we have Judy. Now, this figure released back in 2017, I think. It isn't on the box, but according to Google, it's when it released. And she's based on her appearance from the first Zootopia film. Or Zootropolis, if you live in the UK. So, to get things started, we shall take a look at her articulation. So, her ears are movable, so you can get some movement like that. You can get some forward and back movement, and they can swoop all the way down. So that is quite nice. And the head itself can move, can rotate, can look that far down, and that far up. Ooh, started pulling the peg out. And it can go side to side, but you gotta mess with the joint first. So easiest way is just pull out the head. And you see the neck is on a Revoltech joint, which is what this whole series is named after. And it can really just go in two directions. So basically you gotta rotate it, peg it back in, and then you can get some head tilting. I don't know why they didn't just make it a simple ball joint. Would have made things a lot less difficult, but whatever. Also, this collar piece is separate from the body, so make sure you don't lose that. Anywho, moving down, her arms can move that far out. Can go all the way around, as you would expect arms to do. You get some rotation. You get a pretty good bend at the elbow. Get a rotation there. You get a rotation at the wrist, and also some movement. And if you move the joint, you can have it moving that way as well. And then the torso and waist joints are both ball joints, which, see, you do use ball joints. Why couldn't you use that as the head? Yeah, whatever. So you do get a nice crunch, a very nice arch, some very nice side to side movement. So, yeah, Judy is quite flexible. And, of course, you get a rotation, as one would expect. Now we move thumbs out of the way and get down to the legs, which are also on ball joints. They kick about that far forward. Can kick only that far back. Can't really spread all that much, unfortunately. And you do get some rotation at the thigh. Then you get a pretty good bend at the knee. Get some rotation there. You get the foot, which can rotate like that. Can go up and down. And you get a very nice ankle pivot. Look at that. Goodness. And then you come to the back of the figure, and you have the teeny little tail, which is also articulated. So you can move it up and down. And you can move it side to side. straighten out the hips there. Get everything painted back in a proper position. Now, believe it or not, we are actually not done with the articulation. She has two more points of articulation, and that is the eyes. Yeah, the eyes actually move on this figure, and the way to move that is kind of disturbing. Basically, you have to rip her entire face off. Told you it was a little disturbing. And then you come to the back here, and you can see there are two little joints for the eyes, which allow you to move them around. And that is really, really cool. That's a very neat little detail. It also allows you to make her look kind of silly. So yeah, it does take a little bit of finagling, and you do probably want to loosen up the eye joints before you move them around, because they are quite tight. But yeah, so you can make her look whichever way you want. And that's just a really, really cool feature. Ugh, like I said, they are quite tight. Let's just get her back to a normal looking position. That's good enough. And you just plug it back in. And there we go. Actually, I think I did make her a little cross-eyed head. Dang it, whatever. You'll just have to deal with it. So that's pretty much it for articulation, and it is very, very nice. Lots of joints and lots of very nice movement out of this figure. You can get some pretty dang good expressiveness out of it, and that is always nice. So, now we'll bring it in closer here and take a look at the details. Here we have Judy's face, and she looks just nice and cute. Oh, wait, sorry, I'm not supposed to say that. That's a wrong term in the movies world, but whatever. But she does look very, very nice. You got the eyes, and unfortunately this eye is a little dented. Eesh, that looks painful. You got the ears. She has some nice pink on the inside. You have more black towards the tip. That's pretty cool. And the figure's got this nice, kind of like realistic fur texture all over it, and that all looks very nice. Then you got your uniform with a nice silver badge there. You got her vest. And you got the belt, which has lots of nice little details on it. You got like a radio, I think, over there, and then you even got the little fox repellent spray. That's a neat little detail. There you got her little hands. You have claws. And the claw is a different color than the rest of the hand. It's not very easy to tell on camera, but it is the case. You got little knee pads. You got your fuzzy little bunny feet. At the bottom, which are also detailed. At the back, you get her fluffy, bushy little bunny tail. It's also nicely painted. Just overall, very nicely detailed and painted figure. She looks very, very nice. Just a wonderful looking figure. Good to say. Good to say. So that is pretty much it for the figure, and while she would have been nice enough on her own, she also comes with a bunch of accessories. So we'll start taking a look at those. Starting off with her alternate faces. Outside of her simple smile face, she's got a big toothy grin face, a sad face, a scared face, and
It's called a hustle, sweetheart.
face. So that's pretty much it for the faces, and you do get a good variety. Honestly, I think all that's missing is maybe like an angry or annoyed face. That would have been nice, would have, capped it off. But what you get is pretty good. And yes, all of the eyes are also movable on all of the alternate faces, so you can really get pretty expressive with this figure. But that is not all. She also comes with some alternate hands. So you get a pair of more relaxed hands. Waited to do this pretty simply. You just simply pop off the hand. Ah. And then pop on the new one. And now she's got some more relaxed hands. And then finally we get a grabby hand. Alright, so we got that on, and now she's able to grab things. Like, for example, this included carrot pen. Yeah, they got the little carrot pen from the movie. That's really, really cool. You got a little button, you get the speaker, you get the pen, and you can just plop it in her hand. Ah, dang it. Come on. Get in the hand. There we go. You can plop it in her hand. Now she can write things. And record people secretly. So yeah. That is pretty dang cool. I like that they included that. And we are still not done. We have one more accessory to cover, and that is a stand. So yeah, we get a stand here. Plug in this included claw. And you could... I gotta move the tail out of the way. Have it grab onto her. Yes, I can get her in some more airborne positions too, if you want. That really opens up a lot of possibilities for displaying the figure. So that's really cool. Although do be careful, the peg on the stand is not the sturdiest. As you can see, it broke off on mine, so it can still kind of work, but not as sturdy as it used to be, unfortunately. So yeah, just be wary of that. And also, the stand has plenty of peg holes, so you can plug in the stand wherever you want it to go. You have plenty of options. Just plug that in. She doesn't really need it, but I just whatever, just plug her into the stand. And in case you were confused about any of the instructions, you do get a sheet that tells you about all of the stuff. I mean, it's all in Japanese, but you can still kind of gather what it's trying to say. So yeah, lots of accessories, lots of options to just do kind of whatever you want with the figure. Like I said, all that's really missing is an angry face. That's kind of it. Other than that, they did a very, very nice job. So, with all that done, on to the size comparisons. And to start things off, as always, here it is with a LEGO minifigure. With the Pack of Destruction minifigure Mothra. With the Pack of Destruction minifigure Godzilla. And here it is with the Star Wars Galaxy of Adventures Luke Skywalker. Just get an idea how it scales with 3 3/4 inch figures. And here it is with the 2008 prototype Snap-on Armor Iron Man. Why? Because they're both Disney. Here it is with the Transformers 2007 Deluxe Barricade. Because they're both cops. Just very, very different types. And finally, here we have it with the previous review, the Hammond Collection Tyrannosaurus Rex. Hey, want to play a game? Guess which one of these figures is cheaper? Here's a hint. It's not the one you're thinking. Alrighty, now that we're done with all that, it's measuring time! I don't know why I've been so aggressive with that recently. Anyways, so get it over here. Measure the figure, and she is basically about 4 inches. But if you want to be pedantic and include her ears as well, she's about 5 1/4. So yeah, pretty dang small, but that is appropriate for the character, because it's kind of like her whole thing. She's bunny. That's why there hasn't been a bunny cop in the film, because they're tiny. So, that is pretty much it for the Revoltech Judy Hopps, and overall, she's pretty dang good. There's a lot to like about this figure. The details are very well done, got a lot of articulation, lots of accessories, so there's a lot you can do with this figure. It's just, and it's fun, it just looks really, just look at that, look at that, look at that. It's just a really nice little figure of a really nice little character. So yeah, now, if you did want this for yourself, it's unfortunately another one of those figures that has skyrocketed in price over time. On eBay, it's going for around $200. So, yeah, definitely not worth that price at all. So yeah, she is very expensive, and she wasn't even cheap at retail either. Like, originally, she was like $65, which, like, yeah, it's a really cool figure with a lot of accessories and stuff, but I don't know if it's $65, man. So, yeah, even if you can find it for retail price, it is pretty expensive. So I honestly only recommend you try and get this figure if you are a really big fan of Zootopia. Which I am. I really like that movie. I thought it was adorable. So yeah, that's pretty much all to say. All I've got to say about this figure. And Revoltech did, in fact, make a Nick Wilde to go along with this, and I shall be taking a look at that next time. But until then, see you later. Sayonara. Bye.